Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you've just joined us. My name is Nell and boy has it been a hot minute since I've done a video. Over the last kind of couple of weeks or so, I've had a few of you kind of reach out to me on social media, kind of saying, hey, how are you doing? Noticed you haven't really uploaded anything for a while, hope you're doing okay, which has been lovely. Thank you so much, you guys who've done that. As you can see, I am still here. Hi. But I thought I would do a quick update video and kind of let you guys know everything that's kind of been going on here at Crypt HQ. Those of you who have followed me for a little while or know me personally will know that my partner and I finally got married back at the end of August last year. I say finally because it took us a long ass time to actually get there. So we got engaged back in March of 2019 and we decided that we were going to have a year's engagement and get married in April of 2020 because we liked the idea of a spring wedding, and a year was probably a decent amount of time to organise the event. And then 2020 went and happened, didn't it? At the start of the pandemic, we were kind of umming and ahhing for a little while as to really what to do, whether we kind of waited to see how things developed or whether to postpone everything until a later date. And for a little while we kind of waited to see kind of what would happen, because we didn't want to kind of have that knee-jerk reaction and then kind of things kind of settle down and then we're kind of left kind of feeling a little bit silly, and then the lockdown happened about 3 weeks before our original date that we'd set. About a week or so before the actual lockdown, we had actually made the decision to postpone the wedding, but it was still really devastating. We'd just spent the past year organising everything and making plans and getting all excited the closer the day got, and then all of a sudden to have to suddenly postpone it all, it was pretty heart-wrenching really. So we kind of penciled in another potential date in October, and kind of in the vague hope that things may have settled down enough by then, and obviously that then didn't happen either. So we then went for April 2021 instead, and at that point I think we'd just gone into another lockdown, possibly. To be honest, it feels like we've been in so many lockdowns for so long, I've kind of lost track of kind of when and how long they've been here in the UK, in all honesty. In the end, our date in August actually went through, fourth time's the charm apparently. And I know that it's the old cliche of oh, your wedding day's the best day of your life, and it's the day that you'll always remember, etc, etc. And I hate to be a cliche, but it really was the best day. I think given how long we'd had to wait and all the stress that went with it. Like, those of you who either are married or are kind of in the process of organising your own weddings, you know how stressful wedding planning can be, but you know, put a pandemic on top of that as well, and oh boy, the stress levels just go whoosh. But yeah, it really was the best day. And although we didn't manage to go to New Orleans for honeymoon as previously planned, we ended up going to Greece for about 2 weeks, which was wonderful, and it's one of my favourite places in the world anyway. So yeah, but at the end of it all, I think I just kind of went through a period of being kind of burnt out from it all. Like, I mean, the way I see it is like kind of almost like running a marathon. You've got the adrenaline pumping through you for so long, and you're getting to that finish line, and like, you know, once you've crossed that finish line, you know, you're still really kind of amped up, and yeah, you got that adrenaline and the energy surge. And then after that, like in the next kind of day or two, your body suddenly goes, don't have to worry about that anymore. And for a while, you just feel like really fatigued. And I think that was the kind of thing that happened for both Bernie and I, is the fact that, you know, for the last, you know, it turned out to be 2 years of planning and organising and stress, and, you know, it was a wonderful day. And I remember laying in bed like a day or two after, and just kind of thinking, we don't actually have like a wedding to plan anymore. Like, it's done. We don't have to think about, you know, who's coming and seating plans and where people are going to go and anything like that. And as much as it's a really good feeling to not have to worry about that anymore, you kind of go, well, what do we do now? So yeah. So yeah, in the end, wedding day went off without a hitch. We then went off and enjoyed a wonderful 2 weeks in Greece. And then in September, work got incredibly stressful. And as a result of that, my mental health kind of really took a bit of a dip. Both my depression and anxiety kind of really amped up, and it was a thing of, as much as I wanted to put in, you know, the energy and the effort that I usually do in creating this kind of, you know, kind of spooky and true crime content for you guys, I just did not have the energy. Like, I would sit down and, you know, do all the plans for the videos, and then sit down in front of the camera, and for some reason my mind would just kind of go complete blank. And I've always been a bit of a perfectionist, and you know, that's especially true in like things that I take the most pride in, so my dance, and also, you know, creating content for YouTube and things like that. And I just didn't feel like I was getting anywhere, and I was really kind of stuck in a bit of a rut. And the more I kind of tried to push myself into making content, the more the feeling of being in a rut intensified. In the end, I made the decision of, you know what, I need to take a bit of a step back and kind of work on my mental health for a little bit, and then maybe come back kind of around Christmas time. And then literally a week before Christmas, we had a leak in our apartment, and it ended up flooding a decent portion of it, and it was really difficult to actually get a plumber out because either most of them were all fully booked up until January or were all down with COVID. And so trying to find a local plumber to come and fix the goddamn leak was a real pain in the ass. And all the time, you know, the water was just kind of spreading, and yeah, so that just kind of added to the stress, really. Still, in the end, we were able to get someone out, and he sorted it all for us, and yay, it was all sorted in the end, and we had a lovely Christmas. It was just Bernie and I and the cats, which was lovely. And yeah, it was just kind of really chilled out, and it was just nice to be able to take that break and breather and just relax for that week, you know. So I went back to work last Tuesday, and I actually went back feeling quite refreshed after the Christmas break. Usually after Christmas I go back to work feeling quite drained and tired, because usually we kind of switch between travelling to see either Bernie's family and spending Christmas with them, or my family. And we decided this year, being, you know, the first as a married couple, we were just going to spend it at home, which was lovely. So yeah, I went back to work feeling really refreshed and focused and, you know, ready to face the new year. And then at the start of this week, this happened. So on Sunday I did a home test. We have to do 2 a week for work, and as expected it came back negative. So I thought, okay, cool, great. Didn't think anything of it. Monday morning I got up for work as usual, and I just had the feeling that I needed to do another one. Like, I couldn't put my finger on the reason as to why. Like, I wasn't feeling particularly unwell or anything like that, but it was just, yeah, my intuition was just saying, just do another one. And I've always been one to listen to my intuition because it's never steered me wrong in the past. So I thought, you know what, it can't hurt. So I did a second one and kind of continued getting ready for work and everything while the result was coming through. And I went back about 5 or 10 minutes later, and I saw like the kind of main line at the top, and then I noticed like a kind of faintish line, second line below. So first of all I thought, okay, hang on a minute, well, I'm still half asleep, you know, I haven't put my contacts in yet, so, you know, so I'm gonna kind of stood there, pick it up, and I'm watching it, and I'm watching this second line getting clearer and clearer and clearer. And so I thought, oh no. So I go and find Bernie, and I'm like, Bernie, like, I've just done a test and it's coming back with 2 lines. And he's like, okay, well, before you start panicking, go and do another one just in case, because, you know, these tests aren't always entirely accurate. It could be a false positive. So it's like, okay, yeah, fine. Do another one, and yeah, the 2 lines come back pretty much straight away. My words exactly, girls. My words exactly. So I phone work to let them know, you know, I've just tested positive, I'm not going to be in for the next 10 days. Then book myself a PCR. And at that point I'm still feeling okay, really. And it's not really until about kind of like the afternoon, early evening time where I start to feel kind of a little bit rough, like I'm feeling kind of achy and got a bit of a sore throat. Tuesday morning I wake up and I just kind of feel like I've been hit by several tracks. Like I'm aching, I'm exhausted, like everything hurts, my throat's sore, my head hurts and is pounding, and yeah, I'm just feeling just absolutely gross. And that kind of goes on all day. I take painkillers to kind of help with the achy feeling, and that kind of helps take some of the edge off. Wednesday morning I wake up and my sense of smell has just kind of disappeared entirely. My sense of taste has kind of diminished a little bit, but I can still at that point kind of taste things, kind of. I then get the results of my PCR test back and they are positive. Like, by that point it was not a surprise at all when the results came back to be positive. Like, by that stage I was just feeling so rough that it was like a, you know, I'd be more surprised if it came back negative, because yeah, I was just feeling absolutely gross. Like, I had a really tight chest as well, and I kind of still do a little bit, not as much now, luckily, but even walking from my bed to the bathroom across the hall, like, I would get so breathless, it was ridiculous. And yeah, it was just a really, really horrible feeling. I've spent a lot of this week asleep, to be honest, just kind of sleeping it all off and letting my body fight this virus. Luckily, I only got my booster about 3 weeks ago, so, you know, yay science! It's, you know, we are very, very lucky to have the science that we do and the medicine that we do. Otherwise, yeah, there's a good chance I'd be feeling a lot more rough than I am now. Today is the first day most of this week, not counting Monday obviously, that I haven't felt the need to sleep in the day. Like, I am still really tired and my limbs are achy, but it's not at the point where I just want to crash out in the afternoon anymore, which, you know, is a real, like, positive. Positive. But yeah, it's been a real rough week, but I think I'm finally getting there. If you haven't already yet, please, please, please go and get your vaccine or your booster if you haven't already. Like I said before, although I'm feeling rough and have been all week because of this goddamn virus, like, you know, it would be an awful lot worse. And I know a lot of people say, you know, oh, it's just like, you know, a cold or the flu or something like that. It's not. Like, I've had both, and this is so much worse than that. Last Christmas I actually had 2 friends on ventilators because of COVID, and neither of them are that old, and it really was touch and go for a while. Yeah, COVID does not mess around. Like, I'm very, very lucky in the fact that I've only had like a very mild form of it, but you know, it's still horrible. So, okay, moving on to some more positive things. My friend PJ has started a new channel called Life of PJ. I will put his link to the channel down below in the description. Go check him out, give him a follow. He is the most well-travelled person I know. He's always going on adventures and stuff like that, and yeah, he's just really entertaining, really fun, and I love him to bits. So yeah, go give him a follow. And speaking of, we actually have been plotting, planning and scheming a little bit as of late. Well, I say as of late. We started actually kind of plotting things about a year or so ago now, but you know, life is what life is. So I don't want to give too much away about it just yet, but all I will say is keep an eye on both my and his channel, because we're hoping to make an announcement very, very soon. As for this channel, going to 2022, I'm going to be continuing to do spooky and true crime stuff. For a little while, I'm probably going to focus more on slightly shorter videos just until I get my energy back from fighting this virus. I still really want to do a Q&A session with people that I've been planning to do for a little while now. So that's in the works. And I've also come across a new true crime case which looks very interesting, and I've just kind of noticed in the last kind of day or so it's kind of caught my attention, so I'm keeping a very close eye on that, and I will be doing a short video on that soon, or at least I'm planning to. In terms of longer videos, this is what I'm planning for my next one, for when I start doing the longer ones, so keep an eye out for those. And yeah, if you guys have any suggestions or requests that you'd like me to do kind of going forward for this channel this year, then absolutely let me know. And until next time, I will see you all soon, stay safe.